So it's gone 8 o'clock, sun's pretty much set, but I thought I'd just got enough time to show you how to sow some broad beans.
Today I'm sowing a dwarf bean variety called the Sutton. It freezes very well and you can grow it in containers on the patio.
Sowing broad beans, dead simple. I'd normally use seed compost, but I'm using multi-purpose compost, which I've made nice and wet, and I'm just stuffing it into this toilet roll. The reason I'm not using seed compost today is I've run out and I can't get hold of any, and to be honest with you, with broad beans and peas it doesn't really matter. So I filled my toilet roll, firmed it down, and now I'm going to put in my bean. The reason I'm using a toilet roll is that it helps long root growth, and what will happen is that the roots will train down, hit the air at the bottom, because you'll see there's nothing actually on the bottom of this. It will hit the air, come back up, and hopefully establish some good lateral roots, which are good for beans and peas. It's particularly I think with peas, but what I've done is I've topped this up here to 5 centimeters short of the top. Normally if I was sowing something like a pea, I'd fill it right to the top, use a dibber, but even sowing peas in multi-purpose, I would use this method that I'm using for the bean. Now here's a broad bean. This one's quite a large one. It's my favourite broad bean, actually, called the Sutton, and you'll see here that there's a scar, and the scar is to do with what's going to emerge from it. If I get another broad bean, it's probably gonna, you'll see as well, they all have that. And what will happen is that two things will emerge from it: a radical, which will come down and that will become the roots, and a plume, which will go up and become the leaf growth. So in a way, it doesn't matter how you plant this. You could just chuck it in. It doesn't really matter how you plant it, as long as it goes in there. However, there is a school of thought that says the scar should be on the bottom to protect it, or it should be on the side. I like to plant mine on the side like that, or on the bottom. And I just firm it down, and then just fill with compost and just firm gently in as I go till it's filled up to the top. I could sow in pots, but I'd want a deep pot for that root growth reason. Here's some I did earlier. And of course there's lots of toilet roll about at the moment because everyone panic bought it. There we go. And what I would do is, for the stability, I'd just tie these together. I'm going to do more tomorrow, but I'm trying to now, because this is not my main crop, just space out the sowings so that I've got some good odds. But just sewn together there, pop a label in there, date on the back, and then that goes onto my shelf. So here's my batch here, just sitting in a tray inside another tray, and this tray is a grow bag tray which has got a decent amount of water in, and what happens is the water soaks up through into the compost here. I've got another batch next to it there, that's a different type of broad bean, and then that batch there is the Sutton, and you can see they're growing there. One downside to growing in toilet rolls, apart from the fact that they can fall apart on you, is that they get these sort of moulds and mildews, and the trick is for me to remember to remove these little propagator lids during the day and pop them out the way, and then pop them back on at night, just for a bit of protection when the temperature drops. When I get another month or so in, I probably won't even use these propagator lids. So it's as simple as that. You just water them with a mister, keep them under that propagator lid during the night, let them soak up the water from the bottom, and then plant out when you feel they're the right sort of length. I generally think, it's quite difficult for you to judge, but coffee mug and a half. I quite like mine for some of the varieties. However, that one there was a dwarf, so I would say about a coffee mug high. I also like to pinch the shoots out on mine to make them bush up, and also to deter things like black fly.